All right, so we saw some small little movie this week. Maybe you guys have heard of it. It's like called The Jedi of the Last or something, or War of the Stars.
The Fallen of the Jedi.
You guys see the War of the Stars this week?
Star Trek?
Something like that.
No,
We saw Star Wars: The Last Jedi, and we're here to...
No, I saw Ferdinand.
Oh.
With John...
Well, then, where's Mike? Get Mike back in here. Get out here. Okay.
Mike.
All right. So anyways... We all saw last...
America's hero.
Well,
It is
let the
hero.
people know who's sitting next to us.
This here's Francis.
Hello.
Last time we, a big Star Wars, War of the Stars, whatever, Awaken the Force movie came out, he was here. And we reviewed it.
Yeah, and I talked Overwatch with Mike before.
And you've talked Overwatch with Mike.
Oh, that's right, our Overwatch episode.
Yeah, we
you
spelled
can
my name wrong.
right here.
You know Francis?
Oh, I spelled your name wrong?
Yeah.
God damn it.
Oh, what an
I
asshole.
forgot. I think it was like an E or so. I don't remember, but I remember because Mike brought it up the other day. He was like, "Yeah, Rick just spelled your name wrong."
Fuck. This is Francis with an E.
Yeah, it's with an I. Should I do the thing where it's like Francis guy F-R-A-N? No, but
Francis from... What am I...
First Comics News.
Yeah.
First Comics News.
What's your shit? I'm blanking.
It's Brown
Massacre
usually.
Twins.
No, not your shit. What? Yeah, Massacre
Massacre
Twins.
Twins,
There we
yes,
go. I
that.
was trying to plug you up as I slapped the shit out of your back. I'm sorry. So
I didn't
anyways...
sell it, sorry.
Yeah, you didn't. So we're all back. We didn't do this for Rogue One together, but we did this for Episode 7 for The Force Awakens. Rick has to pull out his notes, and now we're back to review The Last Jedi.
Yep.
So...
Let's hear from the non-Star Wars.
No, I want to play off you guys first. Unless you want to hear from me first. I want to... Okay, so...
You're the newest Star Wars
Here's
fan.
what I'll say. Okay, here's what I'll say. Okay. I plan... I don't know why I keep wanting to do this to you guys, but apparently I
Because
did.
you had a few beers before we
yeah.
did this.
I plan on seeing it again. I mean, I have plans to see it again.
Yeah.
As people who have watched the show know, I wasn't as high on Rogue One as most other people were. So I definitely like The Last Jedi more than Rogue One. I think if you had to ask me today, and maybe it'll be different when I see it again. If you had to ask me today, I think I like The Force Awakens better than The Last Jedi.
Okay.
Today. But what I will say about both movies, and I kind of implied this to both of you guys after we saw it, is there's something about, so far at least, there's something about the about Episode 7 and Episode 8 that feel just a little bit more fun to me than Rogue One felt. Like there's like a sense of whimsy to them. Like, so I think for me as being a little bit more casual.
The last whimsy?
Yeah. I think for me being a little bit more casual and new to this whole Star Wars thing, I found them both more entertaining than Rogue One. This isn't about comparing to Rogue One, but I'm just doing that.
With Hard Price, Rogue One also takes place
right
before, but I can see where you're coming from because Rogue One did have. It was a little more gritty.
Yeah.
It was a little more a quote unquote war movie, some people would call it. I was talking.
It was hardcore fan service.
Yeah, and someone was talking today. Said
which is not a bad thing.
Yeah.
It reminded them of like the old westerns where even the hero would die, which is spoilers. Most of what happens in. Should we warn them there will be spoilers for this?
Oh yeah, there will be spoilers. I'll put up a spoiler.
When we're gonna get into it, we'll get into it. Yeah, it'll be up
across
there.
the screen.
Yeah. Why do you keep moving my drink, by the way? Just like
because focus. If you put it there, it's gonna focus. The camera's gonna focus on this, and we're gonna be blurred.
Just wondered. So, anyways, just had to get that out of the way.
Get sponsorship.
Yeah. So that's what I'll say. About that's how I feel about it. I feel like Episode 8 and Episode 7 are more fun for me. I'm wondering if I'm more partial to Episode 7 just because that was honestly the first Star Wars movies I ever saw in the theater.
Ones?
Episode 7.
Force
Awakens. That I ever saw in the theater. So right now I'm more partial to that, but I had fun at this. I'd like to see it again. I think it's interesting. Now I'm going to turn it to you guys. Now that I've seen it and I'm not avoiding spoilers like the plague, it does seem like that there's a large part of the audience that fucking loved it, and there's a big chunk of the audience that is very upset about
the hell you say?
So now that I
mad about something on the internet, we talk about it.
Now that I say that, let me turn it to you boys.
All right,
Guess go first.
What do you guys say? Yeah, Francis, go. So tell me about that.
Okay, I had time to think about it, let it marinate a bit, and I'm talking to people. There are scenes I love. There are things that I think don't really. It felt like the whole casino scene felt like something from the prequels.
I've heard that.
Too much CG, too much just felt out of the element. Like we need to fill time. Here, let's do this whole subplot.
Let me interject now that you brought that up.
No.
Sorry, I just want to say that was another thing that I saw a lot of people say is they felt like that J.J. Abrams worked his ass off to use practical effects, and that this movie threw that entirely out the window, and there's a lot more CG, and I've heard people complain about that. So I just wanted to comment because you brought up CG.
Yeah, and thinking about it more, like again, we're gonna have this. There's some spoilers. It was trying.
Wait, are we doing spoilers?
We're gonna spoilers.
You want to do
No, I know,
spoilers
but right
now?
now- let's give an overall-
we're just
Yeah,
in general. Okay,
go
sorry.
overall, and then we'll get into it.
Okay, well, it felt like the way I felt after I saw The Dark Knight. And, of course, Dark Knight is one of the greatest superhero movies ever made.
I concur.
Yeah. So it had a feeling of, not like did I like it, did I hate it, but was just like, I kind of felt what, let's say, what the hero should be feeling or what the resistance should be feeling of like, oh my gosh, like, how do I approach this after it's happened? And of course, well, when we get to the spoiler part where there's a lot going on that's happening to them.
See, that's interesting because so I don't know if this is where you're going with that, but I've read, and you guys are gonna scoff at this or be like, oh, but I've seen some people be like, okay, it's not a matter of if I liked it, it's how much did I like it, and whether or not I liked it more than Empire, because a lot of people fucking love Empire. So I've heard some people like this movie to that extent.
Okay, here's the thing too. Let's say Empire, if it came out now, how mad would people be? Because there is no resolution in Empire. There is, like they talk about in Clerks. It ends on a down note. Luke gets his hand cut off. Han's on his way to Boba Fett and an ice cube. And, Vader basically won that one. Like, even the battle at the beginning, Battle of Hoth. The rebels lost the Battle of Hoth. They had to retreat.
Yeah.
So there was never much resolution to it.
Yeah.
People, and it leaves on that. Would people, the way movies are these days, would they leave thinking they got gypped? Like maybe they would with this?
I've heard people raise those same complaints. And so it's funny.
It's hard to compare those, because Jedi is episode 4 for me is always going to be my top one.
Yeah.
Because it's my first Star Wars movie and all the nostalgia that goes with it. But the best quality has always been, to me, has been Empire.
Okay. I just wanted to bring that up because, like I said, I've seen some people, it's very divisive. There's a lot of people that are mad about certain things that got introduced into the world, but I've also heard people be like, this is the best fucking Star Wars ever. I've heard people say that.
That's the thing, too, is a little different than what...
Well, I feel like people today, though, and I think you've said this in the past podcasts, now just talk in absolute.
Yeah, that's true.
And,
some people do. But some people specifically, because I know there's a lot of people that think Empire's the best movie. Some people think it's the best movie ever made. So I have seen a lot of opinions where they're talking about, hey, I think Last Jedi is up there with that. I just want to raise that stuff because I want to know where you guys stand.
The Last Jedi is definitely a great movie.
It's wonderfully shot, one thing, too.
It's beautifully shot. Rian Johnson did a fantastic job. He's a fucking good director.
What's his most well known? It's probably
Looper.
Looper, right?
Yeah. Looper, Brothers Bloom, Brick, and I feel like I'm missing one more. Can't remember.
It's fine. I don't want you to lose your thought, though. But how do you feel, since we're talking about how it looked, how do you feel about there being more CGI than there was in Force Awakens?
That didn't bother me.
Because I know a lot of people like that about Force Awakens.
Because I felt like there was enough practical. I felt there was a good balance. Maybe there was a little bit more push on the CG or on the visual effects, but as far as it didn't bother me at all.
Okay.
The scene, the casino scene was fine. I know there was definitely a lot of CG in that, or visual effects in that, a lot of that, but it didn't bother me. Wow, I'm glad I stopped myself. I was about to say something else. That's for spoiler territory, but for the most part, I enjoyed the balance between the two. Movie goes, plot wise, I'll get more into that, but overall, I enjoyed this movie. Did I like it more than The Force Awakens?
That's what I want to know.
Yes, I liked it more than The Force Awakens.
I think.
Wow. Okay.
I think it's one of those things. For some people, it's going to be a multiple viewing kind of thing where, as they see it, they're like, okay, I can see why I like this.
Yeah.
And I've gotten that impression too because I feel like there's, like I said, you guys could stop me if I'm saying things that are dumb because I realize I don't understand it to the extent that you guys do. But from what I've read, there's things that happened in The Last Jedi that kind of were new introductions to the Star Wars universe, where a lot of people are like, huh, okay, so that's a thing now. And I know a lot of people are kind of like up in arms about some of it. So, yeah. I think that plays into why people might need to watch it multiple times and let it sink in.
Do you guys think there was too much comedy?
No.
I don't think I got that vibe. I don't think I got that vibe.
One bit.
No.
I think there were like maybe it was 1 or 2 parts where like there shouldn't have been comedy, but it honestly didn't really bother me.
Okay,
Yeah.
I've seen people say, "Oh, it's like Guardians or Avengers now because there's so much comedy."
No,
I don't
But there's
think there
always
was so
been
much.
comedy in it. It's just always been kind of dry.
there is like really one comedy thing in there that I just fucking hated.
The ports.
No, I actually like the parts.
Okay.
Again, me and Bryce, we only watched the one trailer, so what we're saying right now, we went in there.
Cold.
Yeah, because I saw the second trailer.
Yeah.
But I didn't really watch it that much to like spoil too much. I mean, not that I've watched the Infinity War 10 times or anything.
Yeah.
Okay,
so many
guys. Because I want to talk about the comedy thing. So I want to get okay. So you liked Force Awakens a lot though when it happened, right?
Yes,
I
but
remember
like
it.
marinating on it too, it's slowly kind of like, all right, it's good, but I'm not in love it to the like, oh my god, love it.
But that's the best thing that they put out like that. For you, that's up there with
It's definitely up
the
there.
ones that people like and not the prequels.
Yes,
Okay.
it's definitely. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Did you like this better than Force Awakens?
I don't yet.
Or do you not know yet?
Initial viewing, I thought Force Awakens was a little more, but I think it's because I'm right now, like with my moods, the way it's been and everything. I always try to go for more of the celebratory or, like you said, whimsical tone
Right.
for a movie because I don't want to go in too many things being like, especially the way the world is. Don't want to go in too much about being depressed or bad things always happening, but also because it was bringing back like Force Awakens was what they needed to do to bring the audience of people who were kind of disillusioned with the prequels to bring them back into the Star Wars universe.
And people were starving for it. I mean, it was the first fucking original Star Wars in forever.
Yeah. I mean, the minute, like, when Disney bought it, they were like, we're making these movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously.
So, I know I did the James Hetfield laugh, but yeah, so I think it is one of those movies, though, that it would take multiple viewings. I think that happened. I mean, I'm going to age myself, but I remember I saw Empire in the theater. I mean, I was, like, really small, but I remember seeing it in the theater. But I think that was a movie that probably also took multiple viewings for people because it was just the way it ended was very different than initial from episode 4.
Yeah. And I think you're right about
different from Return of the Jedi.
Right. I think you're right about that though, because like I said, from what I've seen, and I mean I saw myself, but again I'm not as well versed in their universe as you guys are.
Yeah.
There's a lot to digest, so I can understand why it would be multiple viewings. So with that said, though, overall, you like The Last Jedi, right?
I'd say I like. I'm leaning more towards like. I don't hate it.
Okay.
I don't really hate any of the Star Wars movies.
You can't hate something that you love. That
Yeah,
much.
like I can say, okay, it's not the best one, but like Attack of the Clones, I can still find stuff I like in it.
I mean, because I've seen some people. There's some people that fucking hated this movie. Like that said it was like
Well,
right
the
up
thing
there with
too
the prequels.
But
Like,
people will
hate
say
it.
but people will also say there's not enough fan service. But that was the first.
Yeah.
That's what the first one was for.
Did you ever watch? I'm sorry, I hate to. Did you ever watch the Kind of Funny review?
I did. Yeah.
So anyway, we'll talk about that later. Okay, so with that said,
We're going to spoilers.
Well, we're going to go into spoilers. Yeah, because I want to
Overall.
talk overall. You liked it more than Force Awakens. You're kind of like
well, let me change it. I probably liked it as much as Force Awakens.
as much.
Yeah.
You're still kind of you're thinking about it.
I
more.
like it though, but I'm not. I don't know if I put it past Force Awakens yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
So not CG. You brought up the comedy thing. So now we're going to go into spoilers a little bit.
All right. Spoiler time.
Spoiler time.
Okay.
Spoiler time.
Throwing the spoiler time up right now. So if you haven't watched it,
Spoilers! I don't know.
Put it on the screen.
I'm going to put it on the screen right now. So we're in
Do you have the
spoiler
chat
territory.
open? I know we're not going to pay attention, but I'm just curious.
Yeah, I do have it
People
open.
watch. Okay.
So
Spoilers.
So, I don't think it was too jokey, but I got nervous like when Luke and Rey, and you're finally getting to see like what else happens after they come face to face, and he's just staring at her for a while. And I'm like, is this gonna be a fucking comedy segment? And it kind of was almost because he
Family
just
Guy-ish.
fucking chucked it.
that pissed me the fuck off. Completely pissed me the fuck off. And here's why. Because And The Force Awakens, we're led up to this fucking grand moment, and he tosses it away like a fucking shitbag.
I feel like that was
And
really anticlimactic.
Yeah. Like,
it was almost like his way. It was almost Ryan Johnson's way of saying, "This is not what you think. It's not." Or like what Luke says, "It's not going to go the way you think it is."
Yeah.
Because I remember saying when we saw Force Awakens, I remember, or when we reviewed it, I remember mentioning in that review how, for me, someone that like, I don't have the same like emotional attachment to these characters, but I remember saying that I thought it was so fucking epic when you see Luke at the end of Force Awakens or whatever, and I'm like, holy shit. And then the payoff to that is this long period of just them staring at each other, and he just fucking chucks the lightsaber.
And I know there's like the joke of like, where's the hand that came with it, but we still don't even know where that lightsaber, how we got a hold of the lightsaber.
Yeah.
Hey, Bryant.
Who's up?
Bryant's watching.
Oh, hi, Bryant.
Okay.
Oh, hi, Bryant. I like movie. Anyway.
Yeah, so I got nervous there that they were going to go too far down the comedy thing. Also, now that I mention it,
The blue milk.
Okay. Well,
I love that.
The look he gives of like,
You're just like, and then just starts like, yeah.
you like that? Yeah. I do chores all day, bitch.
Like, now we know, like,
I don't have time for you. I gotta catch a fish.
Yeah, he's like just swimming across and like, I came here to die.
Yeah. So he's fucking hiding from. Anyways, one thing though, I picked like I don't know, like I wasn't. So I'm watching, and for people who don't, like, I don't know why you would fucking know, but Francis was to my left, and Rick was to the left of Francis, and I feel like the movie started, and before the scroll, or whatever the fuck you guys call it,
Yeah, scroll.
something happened to where you turned to Francis like you were mad about something. I feel like you went like this about something, and then you guys talked the movie. It just fucking started.
No, we didn't.
when it just started?
Something happened. You motioned
Probably the
to
lightsaber.
Francis.
The lightsaber.
No, the scroll. Like, it was from a galaxy far, far away.
Did
And
you?
it seemed
I
like
remember.
you did something. Like,
Or maybe because I started cheering. Like
you were happy about something or something, and then you two kind of looked at each other, and I don't know. Do you
forgot
remember?
what it was.
I don't even know. I don't
Because
remember this.
I remember while I'm sitting here
I didn't
watching,
even drink
I'm
that
like,
much
what?
that
I'm
night.
like, what the fuck happened in the first 30 seconds of the movie that Rick is already bad? Like, I didn't know. Okay, you
I
don't
don't
remember.
remember. I have to go back and rewind or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't remember saying anything. I remember just seeing it, like everybody else going, woo!
It was Rick initiated it, but I feel like he looked at you and said something, and then you responded, but it's fine. It doesn't matter.
No, I have no idea.
Okay. So what? So we're still on the comedy, kind of, or the CG,
Yeah,
or what?
So I
else?
like the blue milk part. I thought it was
Blue
funny.
milk is
And the
fun.
look that he kind of gave. Yeah, it was comedic, but at the same time, it passed for me to the point where, like, okay, that was good.
Like, we know where it comes from. I like how the creatures just lounge on the rocks, like, I don't care, go ahead. Milk me. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff between Rey and Kylo too was with the Force communicating, but the scene where him with no shirt on, like, dude, can you keep
That was just them for sex appeal. He had to be with his shirt off. I feel like that was even contractual.
I can't see if he had an 8-pack though, because I know he said he was shredded in like the skit. I want to see if he actually had an 8-pack. But
I've seen way
you see way too.
sorry
you see
to
that- you
admit,
see that shit?
I watch Girls on HBO, and like I've seen way too much of him already. So
Does he have an 8-pack?
I mean,
Is he shredded?
I don't know that he's shredded. He definitely doesn't. He's not. No, he's not shredded. He's in good shape. He's not fucking.
Should you put on a
shredded.
tunic, like she said?
Yeah,
Can
maybe,
you, like, put on a
maybe,
tunic or something.
maybe.
Can you imagine
Kylo
catch him?
Ren's
She
pen
caught him
shredded.
like when the Force came in, he's like taking a dump or something.
So the whole Force communication thing, I dug that. I thought that was actually pretty clever.
Yeah.
But the way, after we found out how they were connected or why they were
Oh, with
connected through Snoke, I was like, fuck you. That was fucking stupid. I hated that. Like,
Yeah. What is that whole? Do you think we'll ever get any more Snoke, or is that it?
That's
we're
the
done.
other thing people are mad about.
Like,
Like he got
they used
introduced.
it, he got introduced like to be the big bad, and like they
He
just
just got
killed him
killed.
like nothing. And I didn't like that either.
Oh, him and Phasma get the Boba Fett treatment.
Yeah, and got Phasma too. Like, what the fuck?
I wanted more with Phasma.
I think we'll get more of her.
She fell into the fire pit. I
Who
think
knows?
she might. I mean, after that scene. Oh my gosh,
I don't
that
know.
is one of the best scenes. when the transport shoots light speed into the.
Oh, we're getting way ahead of ourselves now.
Yeah, but that was a beautifully. We talk about that a lot of work. And
Well, let's talk about Luke
okay.
right now first, because with Luke, his character changed like 180 change.
All of a sudden became like a grump and
He became the old man, get off my lawn
Yeah.
type of dude. And
He's old.
well, yeah, I know, but I didn't like the direction they went with him.
I heard that he didn't like it either.
And yeah, he didn't like it either. And I wasn't happy with it because we kept guessing, wait a minute, is he actually evil or is something actually going on with him? And like, he's this farm. I mean, I guess they're supposed to show him growing to like be something else, you know, he's gone from being this farm kid
To being
to being, you know, an old grump, which I understand. But like, even when Obi-Wan went into hiding, like, he didn't go into hiding to die. He just went into hiding because, well, he was looking after Luke. So I guess that's
yeah.
why.
And
But
I guess he thought he had nothing left after the Jedi Order his
Yeah.
Jedi Order crumbled. And we didn't hear much about the Knights of Ren, which they brought up because he was supposed to be
I think they
said they just brought a few students with him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he took some students with him. The rest they slaughtered or something.
Yeah.
So then maybe we'll see more. That'll be like his personal guard, like Snoke had with the red guys.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll get
Praetorian
more of the Knights of Ren in the next movie. But yeah, I didn't like the direction they went with Luke.
It's a little.
I was kind of waiting for like a redeeming moment, and when his redeeming moment came, like I was like, okay.
I really wanted a actual battle.
So, okay.
Like, to see him actually wield the lightsaber one more time, like it's an actual battle, not just holding it.
That's the other complaint I've seen a lot on the internet, is a lot of people were kind of upset to learn about like how he uses the Force to like you could be somewhere that you're not.
Well, here's the thing. They told us that everything book related and whatever is not canon anymore, or not part of the mythology.
But they're taking elements of.
But they're just yeah, because that's a thing that Jedis can do. They can project themselves in other places.
And that's why I think Snoke could be. There could be another part of Snoke because they could be clones. Could be like, I believe it's one of the. I think some of the comics they have where Palpatine made a lot of clones, and he can. I guess his soul can go to other bodies to take over other clones. But we're still on spoiler alert, right?
Yeah, we're on spoilers.
It's on
spoilers.
It's all
the graphics stays
spoilers.
up?
Just yeah.
Okay, cool. I can see myself going.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't. What were they talking about?
I brought up
Snoke.
how a lot of people
Oh yeah,
Like the
Elephant
whole
from
sitting there
Legends
and not
series.
being there. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
From
him
the
being
Legends.
projecting himself, like that's a thing, but like you're giving this thing to us that you told us is not canon anymore, which I thought was like I like it though. I thought it was just kind of cool because now I mean if that's, I'm sure we're gonna see
As a
Luke back
casual
again.
fan, I thought it was cool. I was like, I thought it was kind of badass. Actually.
I thought it was,
but I
thought it
can
was
see
very
how
cool
you
too.
wanted a battle. So I mean, I get
Yeah.
that too.
Yeah, but in fact, he's that powerful though too.
I mean, if anything, like I said, it gave for me. I thought like, it's gonna be so obvious. Everyone's like, oh, he's gonna die, And so when I saw what was happening, I was like, oh well, he's not gonna die. He's gonna live. You know. But then he
He faded.
died or whatever the fuck happened.
That's why I
It
gasped.
was
I
one
didn't
with
think that was
the
gonna happen.
Yeah.
the Force.
Because one with the Force, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm actually kind of disappointed that they went ahead with offing him because it's like,
I think
doing?
He'll be a spirit still.
Yeah.
Because
I just like
Yoda's there.
Is this yeah, I know he'll still be there, but it's just like, is this their pattern? You know, Solo and Force Awakens, and now fucking
What was it your brother said? Oh,
Well,
like
yeah.
the ones who
my brother.
Yeah.
Yeah. He said, you know, all the people. He said everybody died except the actual person that died in real life.
Yeah.
You know, like.
Yeah.
Which, you know, I'm not laughing about that, but it is like, what the fuck are they gonna do about her now?
I've heard different things.
I've heard they filmed some stuff with extra stuff with her that they didn't put into this movie. That they're
Okay,
gonna
well, I
try
heard
to
they
use
didn't
for
do.
the
I heard
next.
that all that they filmed was just Last Jedi. And that was it.
They
Nothing's
did.
in the can for episode 9.
Yeah, but there was, from what I've all heard, was that there was a lot of extra footage with Carrie Fisher that they decided not to put in the final
So they
product
could
so
see.
they can leak it over to the next
Hopefully,
movie.
because one theory I was talking to people who've seen it, is maybe it'll take place, because the way it is, I mean, we're still on spoiler alert, so...
It's all spoilers
It's all
from here on
spoilers.
out.
Okay,
we're
so-
good.
yeah, I just like point out the sign.
Yeah.
Is basically the Resistance can fit in this room right now, and it'd be years down the road where they've built up they finally built up the rebellion because they go from resistance to rebellion again, and that could start where it's been years, and unfortunately Leia's passed because maybe due to age or something like that.
See, I didn't think that was the entire rebellion fleet. I thought that was just part of the rebellion.
Oh yeah,
or not
no.
rebellion. I'm sorry, the Empire or whatever.
The Resistance?
Not the Resistance. The bad guy. The people. Bad
The
people.
Empire. The
Empire.
First Order.
First Order. There
First
we go.
order.
No, yeah.
I didn't think that was
I
all of
almost
them.
said New Order. First order.
Yeah, New Order.
The 80s. Yeah.
Yeah.
Blue Milk. Blue Monday.
There you go. There you go.
So yeah, I didn't think that was. I don't think that was all of them. I think that was just a part of them.
Oh yeah.
Which
no.
comes into my next kind of nitpick.
But the resistance thing though was like they're down to like 20 people.
Yeah.
At the end of it,
Them.
but-
Yeah.
that's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Because by the end, now they've had to rebuild the rebellion, and that's where it started. And unfortunately, by then Leia has passed by the time that they've built up, ready to fight back.
Yeah, and as Brian just pointed out in the chat too, the casino place, the kid at the end with the force grab of the broom,
Yeah,
would be potentially.
there's more Force kids out there. Which again, that's another thing people were mad about, right? With Rey, it's just like, oh, your parents are nobody. They're just drunks.
God.
So-
Okay,
Yes.
so now that we're talking about that, though, I've also heard a lot of people, I don't know if they're wishing for this or whatever, but say it's like, but do you really believe that? Are you going to
That's-
believe what he said? And
That's
that's actually
what I'm
bullshit.
thinking.
That's a swerve. And then I've even heard some people say, well, even if that's the case, they're going to just well, they just did that because people were pissed about it, so they changed it.
Yeah, but I think it could be a thing where Kylo.
I thought that too.
Where Kylo's just putting in her head.
That's exactly.
To bring her down, which would be easier to manipulate.
Before even seeing that, I have to say, watching it, I'm just kind of like, I was like, bullshit. Like, he should, you're going to believe what he's saying. Like, that. I thought that before even, reading other people's thoughts and opinions. Not that makes me special, but I'm saying that thought went into my head naturally. Well, maybe he's not telling the truth.
Maybe I'm easily manipulated, but that delivery was pretty damn. Believable.
It doesn't matter. I mean, that's the point.
he's
If
an
he's
expert in that,
manipulating.
Yeah.
Not true.
But
See, I took it for what it was. I thought that was it, and I think people are gonna get. I think kind of like what you said. People are gonna get pissed, so they're gonna throw it off. Like, oh
Here's
yeah,
the hard
that
part
was
too.
that was
With a
just
lot of fans
throwaway.
like that, they're getting pissed no matter what.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But that's
Something
the
will be
problem.
too early, too much, too
Yeah.
little, too this, too that. So
That's the
that's
problem.
the hard part with something like this.
That's the problem though too. There wasn't any doubt sprinkled into when he said it. We could sit here and be like, well, he's probably just fucking telling her that, But nothing in the movie made you think he was just telling her that. So again, if it does turn out that her parents are somebody's, everyone's just gonna call bullshit and be like, oh, you're just upset about the reaction that you got for saying that they're nobodies. So they've kind of painted
Well, it
themselves
could be
into
also
a corner.
J.J. Abrams like, okay, I'm going to bring it back. When for the next
Honestly,
one he is directing.
Even if they are nobodies, I think I'll be fine with it. Just because, you don't have. Your parents don't have to be fucking, Luke or Leia or anyone like that.
It could be Kenobi.
Look or Kenobi.
We're not medical. We don't mention
I'm gonna talk about the prequels. They had all those younglings training. And then Luke had some younglings too that he was training.
One could
with
have gone
Kylo. Exactly. So it's like a religion almost. Some people are closer to the Force than maybe other people are.
With the kid, who was able to broom comes right to him, which is like a little it's like a little thing to show there is hope of Jedi.
Yeah.
The parents don't have to be anybody, but again, I keep pointing out the complaints that I've seen since watching the movie. That's the other big complaint I've seen, and it's funny talking about Rian Johnson versus J.J. Abrams. A lot of people feel like that Rian Johnson took everything that J.J. Abrams put out there and shredded it to bits. And so that's what I've heard. And so, yeah, and I can kind of fucking see that a little bit. I don't know that he has that authority. For all I know, that was the plan all along. But I know that that's the perception right now. That JJ built something, and Ryan kind of said, well, forget everything you fucking picked up from The Force Awakens. It's all down the toilet now.
Or maybe, because J.J. Abrams was a part of Lost, he took all the outlines from him and then made the script through his notes and had to incorporate all the things he did. Because I mean, he is an executive producer on this movie.
Yeah, right, of course. So
like,
it's not like it's
you
a
can't-
shock to him.
Did Ryan Johnson write it? Yes, but I'm sure he had directions from the executive producers in the studio.
Regardless of what actually went down and whether they were both in agreement or not, I could totally understand that perception, though. Because it does seem that way.
He seems to be doing something right.
There's all these things, though. Well, I know.
Disney's making, hey, you can go make another Star Wars trilogy.
Right.
And as they've said, this is the passing down of the torch to these new characters.
Because, yeah, I mean, that's the thing, too. It's not that was originally the idea from Force Awakens was we're bringing back, to bring back those originals, but they're going to pass
Goes back
on
even to the 70s.
Yeah.
That old interview with Mark Hamill where he says, he talked about how George Lucas wanted him to come back to reprise his role back in 2011, which obviously came
7 years later. Yeah, like
7 years after that.
7 years later, yeah.
So, like,
Whatever it is.
and he said, like, it was like, what did the quote say? Like, it was like Excalibur, like, passing down the sword to new people.
Yeah.
So that's what this movie was supposed to be about. So, he had, like, he was going in thinking they were going to do something different than what he thought they were going to do, seems like. But, because, it seems like he didn't really like his role in The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
Oh, you missed it.
Seriously?
You missed it. That was earlier.
What was that?
So they want us to have a threesome.
Yeah, but they already missed it. That was earlier in the day. So, with what they gave, with what we got, like, I enjoyed the movie. I mean,
Yeah, I did. That's the thing. Like I said, I didn't hate it, but I'm just like kind of confused on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it is definitely a movie that takes multiple viewings, and people don't like that anymore. They want it boom, boom, boom. I want it now, 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 and. Okay.
I'm good. I'm just thinking about what you told me.
Oh yeah, sorry.
I like the Porgs. I had a feeling I was gonna like them. Like, oh god, they just want to fucking market shit.
Yeah,
know?
well, yeah. Someone says, "Oh, it's being more creatures to
sell,
just
yeah.
sell." But what? I mean, that goes with anything now. I mean,
Yeah.
any franchise, we have to throw things in there that's gonna.
I had a feeling I wasn't gonna like them though. I was like, god damn it, because like
they weren't but they weren't like integral to the plot. Where it's like we need these things to do this. They're just there to be.
It was
there.
in passing. Something
Yeah.
that Jar Jar should
Or
have been.
Chewie. It's there for Chewie to have fun with.
Real quick, not to interrupt. Like, are you okay? Can
Yeah,
you
I'm
push
okay
through?
right
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Oh. So
Potential bathroom incident.
bathroom
So I
break.
just didn't
Yeah.
know if we should
know
like
we're
pause
streaming,
and
so I'm gonna-
pick it up.
so
Yeah, I
I'm
know, but we
listening.
could always like because for recording.
Yeah.
Okay.
But anyway, let's push ahead. So the poor. I actually want like I don't know if you ever seen my. Oh, you haven't seen my newer dog, but she's actually the color of the porgs.
Yeah, I
But
mean, I
her
saw
color
the
scheme
picture,
is
yeah.
the porg.
Oh, you posted a picture, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. That was funny.
But yeah, I like how I thought they were cute, little funny things. I mean, like I said, they weren't like we need the porgs. Like all of a sudden they started talking or some weird thing. One thing was weird also is like Luke has like those caretakers.
Yeah.
Those random caretakers are just there. Like, does he pay them?
I don't know.
Does he just
Something
live
we
there?
just don't know.
Is he like, here, I'll give you a place to live if you
Yeah.
take care of it, or they're just like, we've been doing this for 1,000 years, we're fine. It's a family thing.
Yeah, it's bizarre. Okay, another thing that people were nitpicking about was like, oh, so apparently Princess Leia can walk through space.
Oh yeah, that was
That's the other big one that people are just like.
floating through.
Yeah.
I can't.
I don't know why,
Some
but
people
that
have
didn't
issue with
bother
that.
me.
A lot of people have issues. With
I just
that.
saw like
bothered me.
okay. I was just like an okay moment, like not surreal, but it's just like okay. I guess that happens in the Force. If we can, I mean, she's powerful with the Force, and I mean, look at I don't know how I can say look at, but I mean, look at how Luke can project himself to another place far away.
I just think it's a lot of people that are bitching about new concepts that are being introduced into their beloved franchise.
And I've seen.
And I think that plays into how you're saying multiple viewings.
Yeah, and somebody talked about I saw someone else talk about this. Like they posted about how like you can stuff that was accepted as canon or anything before before Disney split up to Legends and to actual canon. You saw Jedi being like in the video games. The Star Killer took a Star Destroyer down with the Force. or they ripped apart spaceships with the Force. They've
Yeah.
done things like you couldn't even think, like you wouldn't imagine that you would see in the movies. Like you've never, like people who haven't like read the. I hate to say it, people. Well, if you read the comic and DC fans. Just kidding. But yeah. So I mean, there's a lot more to explore to see what else can we do with the Force, and there's not like I know there's a joke that Han said about that's not how the Force works.
Yeah.
It's like we don't know how the Force actually works.
Technically, midichlorians.
Yeah, does that happen? You know what's weird? You always wondered. There's that one time they ever did. It was episode 1 with Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan, and they just like went. We got to go and like just turn this weird dash thing, and like down the hallway, like they just like sped like they were the Flash.
Oh yeah.
And they never did it ever again.
Yeah.
And they had because they kept like they're reflecting to the story. We got to get out of here. Like never did it ever again in the movie.
They did do that again. That's right. I don't want us to.
Sorry. I just saw myself a few seconds later, or 2 seconds earlier.
So I want to also talk about some of the things I actually did like too, because I know this kind of sounds like we're bashing it.
No, I'm just bringing up we're gonna get.
No,
to
we
that.
go back and forth.
Yeah.
Like what? Like I want to go back to that one scene though with Laura Dern, like where she decided.
I hated her character, but in the way they
she redeemed herself.
Yes.
Yes, with that scene where that's just beautiful the way it was shot, where with the transport going. I've never seen one and thought, well, yeah, because everyone's like, oh, we can ram them.
Yeah,
like,
which they did.
Yeah, when they had when Rogue One, the Hammerhead,
Yeah.
where it did that. But no one ever thought, what if I took it into light speed towards? Because light speed is basically the speed of light and everything, that kind of force, into something like the Dreadnought.
Yeah.
And just took down the entire, almost the entire fleet took it down, if it looked like. And how there was like no sound. And it was like...
I love that. I actually love that a lot, because like,
the sound's still
there's
catching
no
up.
sound in space.
Yeah, and if there was, the sound would be still catching up to them.
Yeah.
That was one of the most beautifully shot scenes I've ever seen.
I love that part. But yeah, like her character was so shifty. Like I swear I thought she was part of the Empire.
First Order. She was the one tracking and everything.
Yeah, that's what I thought they were going to go with.
I know, it's just weird because that whole plot, you could have just told Poe, like, hey, this is what we're doing.
That's what kind of
instead of, hey, let's go send the new girl and that guy just woke up. Let's send him down there. We'll send him to go do send Finn and Rose down to do the 45-minute subplot of nothing.
Yes.
Go to the casino, because in a casino you
to a guy that didn't even know if that was the right guy.
Yeah. That was weird too. Like it's like we just hired Benicio del Toro to be Benicio del Toro.
Yeah.
There wasn't like any like it felt like, dude, what do you gotta do? Just be yourself, okay. And what'd you think of Rose?
I liked her.
You like? I
I actually like her.
I don't know. I kind of want to see more about her sister.
I've heard what Francis, like a lot of people seem to
kind of annoying.
Seem to not care for her.
But maybe it's like, again, maybe
I didn't like the whole her and Finn thing. That I didn't like.
Because everyone wanted Ray and Finn.
Whatever. I don't really care about the love part of that.
Yeah.
I liked your character. I didn't think it was too bad.
Yeah, I don't know. I just couldn't get in. Maybe because it's not because it's new. It's just I don't know. Something about her it just never clicked with me, and I can't pinpoint it. But it's not
Yeah, honestly, I liked her character and her sister's like little tiny.
How
sub
integral she was. Like why?
Yeah.
Because she sacrificed herself and okay.
Those
bombers were really slow.
And here's the thing, like the part where Finn wants to sacrifice himself, to stop the ramming
into the battering ram.
The battering ram. And I'm like, okay, everyone knows he's not going to die. And I know everyone knows Rose is going to come and she's going to, I thought she was going to come push him out of the way and then, die.
And she would do it, but then...
And she did it, and that actually surprised me. I was like, holy fuck, they didn't do it.
Yeah, because everyone expect something like that. Again, I think that's what we've been geared towards now, is like, oh, there'll be some miracle to happen. Just as that's, here comes the flight, here comes everybody, here comes these... Every corner of the universe, they're coming to attack, and they're like, nobody has answered our signal.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, is it's what it has to be is, I mean, unfortunately, evil does win sometimes, or has the advantage, and that's what happened. Again, that's this generation's version of what happened in Empire Strikes Back, is that there is not as much hope as you would think right now. But there's a sliver of it, but there's not as much as you would think right now because again, the Resistance is basically down to like very few people. No one answered their call. Luke is gone, even though we know. I mean, he'll be back he's powerful enough to be a Force ghost.
Yeah.
But then of course to lead to the great. It's like a wrestling match. Like it'll lead to that great victory at the end.
Right.
Of episode, with episode 9, which we'll see how that plays out. But I mean, actually, the original ending for like one of the endings they had for Return of the Jedi wasn't a happy ending. It was Luke becoming Vader. Like when I was reading.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
it's
supposed to be the revenge of the.
Yeah,
Jedi.
he was gonna say. They was gonna be like, put the helmet on, be like, I am now I am Vader or something. Like there was one of the ideas that's floating around.
See, I thought, God damn it, our battery's running low.
Do we need to plug in?
I gotta plug in, yeah.
All right. So
Keep talking.
Okay, so also another character that I thought was great was seeing Yoda one more time.
Yeah.
And Yoda, it being Yoda the puppet, like looking like from Empire Strikes Back, what we knew growing up. I mean, I like.
See that was another knock that I saw from people talking about like there's so much CG in this movie, but there's the Yoda puppet. But like also, it's like one or the other, practical or CG.
But also, I believe did Frank Oz pass away?
I don't think. No, wait, I think he did.
Which is weird because you never heard of him saying. I never heard anything about if he did, or if he was still alive. I'll look at. But yeah, because even if anything, you never heard of them saying he recorded lines for Star Wars. Because they credit Frank Oz as Yoda. They didn't, unless the.
Is this him?
Yeah.
He's alive.
Yeah, he's still alive.
He's alive. Okay. Yeah. I kept thinking. I don't want to kept hearing he passed away.
He passed away too.
But
I'm glad he did it.
I'm good.
We're gonna wake up tomorrow and he's gonna be dead.
Yeah, thanks.
It's gonna be all right.
But yeah, like you didn't hear about them saying that. Oh yeah, we recorded Yoda lines.
Yeah.
Something like that you think would leak out. And that was a big surprise to me because I saw the ears and I thought, oh my god, Yoda. And then of course him doing, and it was like Yoda. It wasn't like, someone said like it wasn't Yoda like you would see in the prequels, like that kind of Yoda. You saw like it was the aged, wise Yoda who was still
Jedi.
kind of a like jerk, but a jerk for a reason.
Yeah.
Like the page turner, it is not.
Yeah.
Yoda was in Force Awakens, wasn't he?
No.
There's
like his voice.
Dismembered voice.
Yeah, it was like his
was
voice.
it? Okay.
When Ray touched Ren.
Okay.
Ray touched the.
When Ren touched Stimpy.
Yeah.
Yeah, got it.
Stimpy, don't touch me. When
Was
Ray touched the lightsaber.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Was the whole Yoda thing a surprise to you?
Yes, because I
Really?
didn't hear anything about it. Like there's no appearance. I didn't hear anything. Like I said, you think something like that would be something that would be leaked. Like saying, "Oh, there's gonna be Yoda," or you'd see him somehow in the trailers.
See, I wasn't surprised. I don't know why. I just wasn't surprised.
I mean, that's how probably Luke kept his sanity out there by himself.
I mean, you would think so.
Yeah, like he would appear or anything, because I mean, there was Obi-Wan appeared for a long time in the books, and then finally said, "Okay, I'm finally running out of energy. I can't be with you anymore."
I think just because like where he was at, and like, the situation, like it kind of looked. I'm gonna say it's a complete Dagobah system, but like he kind of was in a place where he wanted to be alone or whatever. So like I have a feeling we're gonna get Yoda here, and sure enough, Yoda appeared.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, just like I don't know, like I don't know how I didn't see it coming, but I thought it was great to see him.
But there's got to be.
I thought it was good. I liked him.
There's got to be a part of you that is expecting at some point Yoda's going to make an appearance, regardless, right? For both
Actually,
of you.
no.
No, because
but you kind of did.
Not really.
Not in this one. Not in this one.
But for you, you did. You said you weren't surprised. So in some ways, you must have been sort of expecting to see him.
I was expecting to see him, but I wasn't expecting to see
so soon.
Him so soon. But I wouldn't be surprised to see him in this movie.
So in some ways,
Does that make sense?
It does, but in some ways, it kind of did surprise you then because it happened sooner than you thought.
I guess.
Yeah.
But
I didn't think we were going to see him at all. I mean, we're not seeing. Well, of course, we can't see Obi-Wan because Alec Guinness passed away years ago, and probably never would want anything to do with Star Wars.
Probably get like the bearded what's his name?
Sebastian Shaw.
No.
Not David Prowse. He has nothing to do with Star Wars.
No. The one who played him in the prequels. Fucking what's his name?
Oh, Hayden Christensen. Oh yeah. No, sorry. You're right. I'm thinking Vader.
Yeah.
Sebastian Shaw. That was Vader also. Yeah, I know what you're right. Yeah, you would see Hayden.
Which, by the way, I do want a prequel for fucking Friggin' Obi-Wan.
The Obi-Wan movie? Like
Yeah.
you're having a Han movie?
And I do
That's
want
next, right?
Yeah. Directed by Ron Howard.
Yeah.
Solo.
Another thing I liked was the after Snoke died, the battle with Rey and
Yes,
Kylo.
that was a good.
That was fucking awesome. I
know.
love their teamwork and like.
Which is kind of like what'll happen, like, you know, like I know they had their duel already. They've teamed up. I think do the mega powers explode one more time?
Yeah.
Yeah. It
For all you
was
wrestling fans out there.
It was so awesome. I love seeing these two Jedis just team up and just like fight.
Did you get into your notes yet?
Yeah, I've been getting to them.
Oh, you have.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kylo Ren, yeah, you got lust in your eyes. Yeah.
It's Macho Man's impressions of the movie.
I like the way that they threw the lightsaber and he got it.
Oh,
and,
and right to the
right
head.
through his face. Like,
Yeah.
That was fucking awesome.
The way his room was like all the red and everything, I like that.
I like that a lot.
Like,
Yeah,
like
it looked
Snoke's a very
very-
stylish guy. That freaking gold member jacket and everything too.
Yeah.
That robe, like he's Ric Flair or something. What if it is Ric Flair? You know? I mean,
Could be. So okay. What do you guys think though about like how divisive this movie is? So I mentioned briefly the Kind of Funny review. I've seen and gathered that Kevin Smith liked this movie. I've seen people fucking love this movie. There's some people that hate it to the point that they're not even looking forward to episode 9. Is that deserved? Is it people that are just like being too critical? Like, you guys clearly are still excited and on board, regardless of
Well, it's
how...
Star Wars, yeah.
I mean, of course, but I mean, there's some people that are just completely turned off. Like, I've seen some reviews.
Well, there are people who would say
Nope.
who are saying I loved Force Awakens, and 2 weeks later, oh, I hate it because everybody else did.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of flip floppers out there.
Because my friends are saying it, so I need to say it's down cool.
But I'll stand by what I say is like they have fun at the movies watching this. Hell yeah! Did I completely love it? No, there was definitely plot issues that I didn't like. I didn't like what they did with Luke. You know, there were characters I disliked and ended up liking. You know, Laura Dern's character. So like, yeah, the people that are just being too critical of it, they just want to be loud and want their voices heard.
I mean, we'll talk about it off there, but I really want to hear your opinion about...
Yeah,
the
I
Kind of
know,
Funny
I know.
review. So bad.
Wait, the Kind of Funny review?
Yes.
Okay.
What did you think I was going to say?
I thought someone else.
Who?
Someone I was after.
Well, you said you watched the Kind of Funny one, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to hear your opinion on
I've
it
kind
because
of,
they were
I
so
actually
harsh.
was able
Yeah,
to
they
stay
were
away
they were
from-
brutal on it.
So bad.
I was able to stay away from reviews. I usually don't read reviews. I just go, okay.
I don't talk after.
I'll go. I mean, here's the thing where people hate. I go to Rotten Tomatoes and just to see like what the average is and that kind of thing. Just
and
to
then,
see.
and to be fair, at least the last time I checked, the critical average is way higher than the audience.
And I think what that is a lot of times is someone who's just saying, "Oh, I don't like. We need to just do this and bring it down because
well, I mean, of course,
a bunch of it's like
the
Yelp.
The people who are bitching speak.
Yeah,
the
exactly.
loudest.
It's Yelp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I should go spit in their food
And
and other things.
yeah, it's kind of these days. It's really hard. You either love a movie and everyone else around you.
And also now
is wrong for not loving
everyone
it.
expects everything to be catered to them.
Yeah.
And you can't do that because if you cater to everything to me, wouldn't be what everything that you like or everything that Bryce likes.
Yeah.
And that
Like
turns
you-
them off, you know? So it's got to be... It's hard to serve multiple masters at the same time.
I mean, I feel like even though later I feel like people bitched about it, I feel like, and maybe it was just the hype and the excitement of like, oh my god, we're getting episode fucking 7, not a prequel, we're getting the next chapter. I feel like after The Force Awakens, I feel like it was more critically accepted by everybody. This one I feel like is more divisive, and I don't know. Right?
I think
Would
the
you
hard
say that's
part-
fair?
Yeah.
And also another hard part is, I think I said it to you guys or some people, is we have super high expectations for anything Star Wars movie.
People
And
do have their expectations.
And
way too
and they're
fucking high.
very high. Because they want...
I mean, it's not bad to have high expectations, but at the same time, it's not
You gotta be sensible.
good to. Yes, there you go, sensible.
If you have high expectations and you're also like absorbing every little piece of media and trailer and news piece or article that comes out prior to the movie happening, and then you go see the movie and you're just like, I mean, no shit, you kind of fucked yourself though, because it's like you're taking every little grain little morsel of content that they're going to give you. Your expectations are fucking through the roof. So then if anything about the movie happens that just doesn't meet your expectations, of course you're going to be fucking disappointed. In some ways, I blame the fans for that. You
Like
know?
what happens for what's gonna like? I know we're gonna jump ahead, but this is a different franchise. But that might be Infinity War may be a victim of that.
They could be.
Because it's been 10 years in the making, and they've constantly put out movies that have been critically and audience praised. I guess you can say.
Yeah.
I don't know the word to go with critically and audience praised, I guess. But general consensus is that they've always had positive reviews, both sides. Not because there's no conspiracy against the other side, but yeah. So and then now it's the peak, which is going to happen in episode 9 probably. There's going to be high expectations of like how are we going to do this, because I mean that's probably why maybe also that could be a reason why it was brought down to, not saying it's the bottom of the barrel of a movie, but why some things were brought down to such depths, like with the Resistance going down to like a small group now. And their flight was basically like a few fighters and three transports, and so now when it builds up, it's like okay, that's a, like, it's like they're leading you down this path where you think, why am I doing this? Why did like Karate Kid, like why am I painting a fence, or why am I doing this and that, and it leads to, oh my gosh, I am blocking a karate expert's punches.
Yeah.
Now I know, same kind of thing. It's like they're leading us down a path, and I think we should wait. Like it's patience.
Yeah.
Like the end of Spider-Man: Homecoming, patience. Captain America said.
Brian wants to know what you guys thought of the pace.
I was gonna
structure of the
touch that.
movie, like with it being like 2 hours and 33 minutes. Did you
They're
guys think
always
it was
long,
too long?
though. No, that's how long.
Force Awakens was 2 hours.
It was 2 hours. It
Yeah, I
felt.
don't think it was longer than 2 hours.
Because a lot of movies now are sometimes like 2 hours 15 minutes. Things. It didn't feel like 2 hours and 30 minutes though. That's the thing. It didn't feel
Well,
like
then
that
that's
to me.
good. Then you were fine with the pace.
Yeah, I was fine with it.
I thought it was a bit long. There, like I said, there were some subplots in there that they could have went away
You
with.
could shorten the casino stuff.
Yeah, definitely. But like, I don't know. I guess I don't really have an issue with it. It could have been tighter, but.
But then that's the hard part is there's so much they want to tell in like a certain time.
But yeah,
I mean, it's not like like I said, I saw Justice League in 2 hours wasn't enough for something like that. I mean, I think Avengers was at least 2.5 hours.
I mean, yeah, the Marvel movies are long.
But they don't feel like it though. A lot of the time,
No, they don't.
Which is good. And that means they're doing something right if you're watching that movie and you're enthralled in it and you're like, that was 2.5 hours? What the heck?
Yeah.
Where'd the time go? So there's not a big problem with it because it's not monotonous. It didn't feel monotonous though.
What else was there? Yeah, I mean, I like I said, I liked the movie. It was probably the same as Force Awakens, and there's just nothing. There's nothing wrong with liking a movie, and not liking parts of the movie, rather than just saying it's complete.
Being critical of it at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, like where it's like, yeah. I mean, like I said, I have my.
Like I do have issues with it, but I still love
there are
it.
issues with any movie.
Yeah.
That you're gonna have. Nothing's gonna be a perfect movie.
And that's what I kind of, all of us try to put onto this podcast is being more critical rather than just being, you like it or you're fucking stupid,
Oh, you mean
like the internet, most of the internet.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I keep thinking of. I see the Batman picture as I say that.
But
I'm just kidding.
there's there's just not. That's what I would feel.
Yeah, I mean,
Because
like I said, there's always going to be something wrong with no matter what. Nothing is ever perfect. Nothing's really perfect. I mean, something like this, this is like it's very delicate, I guess, to do something like Star Wars when you're like, oh, it's awesome, I'm doing a Star Wars movie. But if you mess up, it's like...
I really hope Brian doesn't get too much shit.
Yeah. I don't think... I mean, like I said...
Ryan Johnson.
Ryan Johnson, yeah, not Brian. No, but Ryan Johnson, he's doing something right. If Disney's saying, here,
they're giving him 3 full movies.
Yeah, you get three more movies. But they're not like this. They're not the Skywalker.
Supposed to be different.
They're
Yeah.
completely different, which I can't wait to see those.
Yeah, I'm
At
curious
least he can do whatever the fuck he
So
wants
is
to.
the idea like episode 9? it's not necessarily that we're supposed to be done with these characters that we just got introduced to, is it? I've heard some people say it's like you're done with that's going to end that trilogy. But I mean, does that mean like that all these
Basically,
people
the
we just
world
met?
moves. The world keeps spinning, or the universe keeps spinning, and we're just on the other side of it, looking at these new characters.
Well, I get that Johnson's thing is supposed to be new, but I mean, okay. So that to me, it sounds like that's
It's
like
not-
that's over here. To me, that almost seems like that's Rogue One, that's Solo, but it's going to be a trilogy. What happens when Episode 10 comes along? Is that still the Adventures of Rey, or is it somebody else?
Could be, but I don't think we're. I don't know.
I don't think we'll.
I don't know if we'll see it. I mean, if some people see money in it, maybe, but
You
I
don't
don't
think
know.
we'll see what, Episode 10?
If it
Well,
happens,
yeah, that's what the new
I mean, that's-
trilogy is supposed to be, right?
No, that's supposed to be. I thought that's supposed to be something else entirely.
like his own thing, like his
Like-
own. It's separate
From
from
what I understand,
Yeah,
that's
it's separate
that's
from the
over
main
here.
storyline.
That's not
Oh,
Episode 10, 11,
okay.
12.
That's what I thought.
Oh no! From what I read it too, it's like
Yeah.
it's supposed to be. It's separate from this Skywalker.
Maybe we're wrong,
Rey,
but that's what
like,
I've got. Yeah, it's
plot
completely
lines.
separate.
Oh, okay.
And I absolutely think there'll be a 10.
Well, that's the horse of a different story.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think I don't. Maybe some people too. Maybe they're feeling the fatigue of it. I mean, that could be a thing too, because it's.
I mean, it's definitely not at the
Not
at
that
the
level.
superhero Marvel level.
Well, yeah,
of
'cause-
fatigue.
well, the only thing we get it, we're getting a now because I mean we're getting what, Star Wars movie every year. Well, it's the third
But
one of
once
the
a
Star
year
Wars
is
movie.
way more digestible than how many fucking superhero
Three
movies
in a
we get
year.
a
Like
year.
two, well,
You
Two or
know?
three.
two
not
Marvels a year.
not to mention one of them is essentially Bryant related the structure of the movie to he felt like the flow of the movie was like a side quest on a video game. He was fine with the length of the movie.
Oh, is that
But
what
to-
he said?
Yeah, to bring up what he said.
Yeah,
though,
I'll feel that way too. I could agree with that.
I don't know that I totally get that though, because
Like, honestly,
a side
I
quest
could
makes
say-
it sound like it wasn't part of the main story to me though.
Well, not necessarily a side quest, but I think this could have been a side quest for totally different characters than
Okay.
the main characters. Because when they went into that direction, I was like, oh,
Right.
fuck, they're doing this? That kind of threw me off, too.
Right.
Because I thought, okay, they're going to escape, in the beginning, they're going to escape them, and they're going to move on to the next planet or whatever. And they didn't. They were just
There.
there and
Yeah.
not moving. And, like, okay, this could totally be, like, Mr. Whatever over here with this type of story, not with the main characters.
yeah. So with that
So
said,
I kind of get that.
with that said, though, to talk about the fatigue, I mean, Rogue One doesn't feel like, oh, it's another. I know it is a Star Wars movie technically, but it does that to me feels like a side quest. Solo to me is gonna feel like a side quest until Episode 9 happens, and that's like, okay, we're back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, I don't think we've hit fatigue with Star Wars yet. I think they could go down that road very easily. I
They
mean,
could get there.
I hope they don't fucking do more than one movie a year, because then it's like, okay, you're taking away what's special about it. I even had some issues with us getting some type of Star Wars related thing once a year, With that said though, so maybe it's a dumb question, but are you guys more looking forward to Episode 9 or to Solo? Or are you
Whatever
looking
comes
forward to
first.
both? Well, you know what's coming first.
Well, Solo's first.
Solo's
but
first, so I'm excited for that. now.
I mean,
is there a part of you guys?
Yeah, I am
I
excited
want to
for
see
now.
how. I mean,
Or
I like to see how Solo, his
Right.
background.
But let's be honest. Like,
I mean, yeah, of course, I'm looking forward to the
you
main
want to know
story.
what's happening in 9. You know
Yeah,
what
I
I
wanna
mean?
see
Like,
what- I wanna see how it gets resolved.
And the Solo movie is something that
It'll tide you over.
that you get to eat before you get to fucking
yeah,
do 9. So
I'll see it all.
Oh yeah, I'm still gonna see him.
right.
So so overall, we all enjoyed the movie.
I would say so.
I mean, sitting here talking about it is just making me want to go see it again
Yeah.
even
I'm
more.
definitely
explore
gonna
more.
see it
And I
again.
think again, it's kind of been the theme of this. And Francis.
I think
brought
it's
it
a
up
solid.
for-
If I would
it's-
grade it, solid B.
I think it's a multiple viewing thing. I think for Star Wars fans, there's a lot of shit for you to digest. Even for me, like it's a lot for me, even though I don't have the same emotional attachment to the franchise. I could see us saying different things about it after seeing it multiple times. Maybe for the better, maybe for worse. I don't know.
I think too is one thing I'm gonna do is I'm going with next time I see it. I know my sister wants to see it, and she isn't doesn't like the super critical eye I would of Star Wars. She loves it, like grew up with it. She's the reason I started watching it. But I want to see it more with someone who no offense to you, Bryce, but like more like who you're always around us,
Right.
and to see like from I guess you can say a more casual view to see what they think. And because she's not an internet poster or things like that, So I would love to see like what her reaction to it would be.
Yeah. I mean, because so far, episode 7 and 8 feel like Star Wars movies to you guys, though, right?
Episode 7 definitely felt like a Star Wars movie.
But, okay.
Episode 8 felt like there were elements that felt like a Star Wars movie, and there are other elements that didn't.
That's the other complaint I've got. Some people are just like, was this even a Star Wars movie?
But the hard part, too, is you can't just keep doing the same thing. I mean, they're going to say, oh, it's a rehash of this. But you can't keep doing the same thing of Star Wars over and over and over and over.
Right.
So
And yeah, like, just wait a few years down the road, or the more time people have to digest this movie, it's going to be a different tune. It's just, it's fucking...
Well, that happens in a lot of movies,
different.
like, where people don't like it when it first comes out.
Yeah.
Then it grows in appreciation.
Yeah.
Like,
Brothers.
time will tell.
Yeah.
You're actually right about Step Brothers.
Yeah.
It took me a couple times and I started laughing. Or
Yeah.
Super Troopers for me. It took like
I can agree with that too. My first viewing, I was like, I liked it, but I was like, what's all the hype behind this? And then, then it stuck with me, and I kept going.
And that's the thing. When I saw the movie, like when we walked out of the theater, I was kind of like, I don't know. And then I was talking the next day at work with people, and I was like, oh, I like this part. This part was cool. That was cool. Yeah, that was cool too. So it's like I evidently liked the movie if I'm saying I liked all these things to it.
Yeah.
So there's got to be something there.
So anyways, wow.
That being said,
This could almost be a show in and of itself.
I know.
It's like a wrestling podcast.
Yeah.
So that's our review.
Yeah. Again, I say if you're gonna grade it, I say solid B. Right.
I would say that too.
Solid B.
I'm gonna cop out and say to be determined. I want to watch.
You wanna watch
again.
them?
Yeah. And you know,
Initial viewing, I'll say.
and for those people
solid B.
who said, well, when you first watch, you either love it or hate it. Fuck you. That's not how it works, in my opinion.
Yeah. Any movies like
Because any movie you watch, you can watch something like fucking Memento, you know? Like you watch it and you're like, whoa, like I like this movie, but what the fuck just happened, you know? So that takes more viewings to understand it, you know, more. But yeah, that really fucking bothers me.
They're just
People
like
say
it must be.
you either go into it and
it
you
must
love it or you
satisfy
just
me at
don't
the
like
second.
it. There's depth to a movie. Should we turn? We're good at spoiler time off.
I think we're good on spoilers. Yeah.
yeah.
I think we're good. By spoiler alert.
Well, with that, I mean, are we done?
Yeah,
You
we're
like
pretty
your
much
race
done.
go.
So,
So that's
that's too much. That's too expensive. That's too expensive.
Okay.
So that's our review of The Last Jedi. I think this is fun. I don't know why we didn't do this for Rogue One. Maybe it's because I
We
wasn't
probably
as
should've.
passionate about
We can always
Rogue
do
One.
other movies,
But we
too.
should do this for... We could.
We
but
definitely maybe we can do a Black Panther.
I think we should definitely do this
Because that's gonna be a different thing for all of
Yeah.
us. That's a different
Yeah.
movie for all of us.
I've never read Black Panther
But
I don't care.
I do think we should definitely do this for Solo.
for sure.
Just because I think this is good. And then obviously we'll be back
Well,
for...
fucking Francis, come over whenever.
We'll be back
Oh, yeah.
for 9, and then
Or
you can
Solo.
come on whenever.
Did you know
So,
the Mario Van Peebles movie called Solo? It's like an action movie.
you know, there's a Snuka named Solo. Anyway.
Yeah,
So
he got fired
cool.
for almost killing the Undertaker.
So let's go back to our future self.